Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Liverpool Connection podcast with myself, Glenn, and with Julian today, just to discuss the massive game coming up against Nottingham Forest, away from home. It's been a wild week, with the cup final and then obviously the win against Southampton as well. But Julian, this game is maybe the biggest game that we've had, maybe even bigger than the cup final. I know that sounds crazy, but it is that big, isn't it?
Every game from now to the end of the season, every single one, the next one is the biggest, and and we have to treat it that way, and we will treat it that way. As good as the cup final was, and it's brilliant, and winning a cup is fantastic. Always will be, always should be. But now we've got to get focused again on the league. Uh, we've had our fun. The players, the youngsters that came in were fantastic, did a really, really good job. And I would hope, and we're recording this on Thursday, and we'll probably learn in Klopp's press conference on Friday. I'd hope that the likes of Salah, Szoboszlai, Nunes are ready to either start this game or maybe one or two on the bench. But we're gonna need them now. We really are.
Yeah, no, we are. Before we sort of get into that, I just do want to say I think Harvey Elliott, over the last couple of games has just been. I mean, two players really. Harvey Elliott, just an absolute workhorse, for what he's done the last three games. He's ran himself absolutely ragged. He's been incredible. I think he's only 20 years old, and he's doing that. And then the second one, is Joe Gomez. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody told Joe Gomez at the start of the season that he would have played four positions, and one of them was going to be holding midfield with two
Ooh.
18-year-old lads. He's even played as a hybrid as well. You know what I mean? He's not even like he's played as a fullback, but he's even coming inside. I just think those two particularly have just summed up just everything what's been great about Liverpool in the last week.
They have, and I'll start with Elliot. And Elliot really is, and it's amazing he's 20, and there's so much pressure on him, and it's so easy to forget how young he is, but how many games he's played for us. And he was magnificent, did really, really well against Southampton, was great in the cup final. And on that point, you're seeing his experience, right? He's 20,
Yeah,
but this is a kid that's played a number of games over the last few seasons, and he showed that in extremely intelligent for a 20-year-old. And you can see, obviously, he's obviously someone that really takes on board the coaching and the learning, because he's developing so well into a player that, I mean, the world is open for him, and Liverpool is open for where he's going to play, because we don't know what his ideal position is at the moment, but that's okay, right? That's okay. That's going to come.
yeah,
But he's Jefferson. Joe Gomez, what a season he has had. And he has been, as you say, he has been magnificent throughout. And yeah, he's played numerous positions. He's It was noticeable a little bit last season, but he's really improved his attacking, going forward with the ball and passing as well, because that was something that previously maybe he struggled a little bit with. I mean, he was a defender, so it wasn't needed as such. But now with the fullbacks doing the hybrid role, it was really important that he got better at that. And he looked really comfortable as a number 6 as such in the FA Cup game against Southampton. He looked, there was some moments where it was obvious he doesn't normally play there, but he did a really good job.
yeah,
So yeah, well done to Gomez.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Big
Massive
fan.
reason where we are, not just in the league, but winning the League Cup and getting through in the FA Cup and doing really well in the Europa League as well.
Yeah. We'll move on to the game then, because I know we're a little bit pressed for time. Nottingham Forest have been in the last 6-7 weeks. They've been pretty poor.
Mm-hmm.
Just having a little look at the actual results there. The only team they've beat, in the league this year, um, has been West Ham. So they've won in the cup. on penalties. I think it was against Bristol City. I think, could be wrong there. But basically, they've struggled. They've been in games. They've not really took any massive hidings. So they've been sort of in games like the Villa game. They were 3 down, sort of got back to 3-2. So they are they're not in a great run of form, to say the least. But they're at home. They are absolutely scrapping. They still don't know about the point deduction and what's going to happen there with that, which is a bit of a joke the way that's panning out.
Yeah.
Tails going to be up. It's always a hard place to go. What's your initial thoughts about it?
Well, Forest, their problems all goes back to when they got promoted with the stupid amount of spending and signings that they made. I mean, they completely overhauled the squad, the team that did so well in getting them promoted. And they've been recovering ever since, and they still don't look like a cohesive unit as a team. They're still a bit of a mess, and that is shown by their league position. With the mess with the Everton and the points and all that kind of stuff, and getting points back this week as well. I mean, it's really pushed Forest into a serious position here. This game is as massive for them as it is for us. It's huge for them. Now, Forest might think they have a little bit of a chance. You know, this might be something they might be able to get something out of just because of the amount of injuries we have. That's the only carrot you want to say that they can onto. But I mean, I would think even if we put out a team, even if we put out the team that won the League Cup, right? That first 11 should get the job done. It really should.
Yeah, it's so different though, isn't it? Because obviously, you know, you've got like Wembley, bigger pitch. Where Forest, it's going to sort of be on top of you. They're going to sit in a little bit. They do have, the thing with Forest, right? They do have some really good pacey players on the counter attack. And they're sort of a team that, excuse me, if we're not at it, if they can sit in, they've got some serious pace with Alanga and big forward, a one me. He's just a handful in general. And Gibbs White, I think he's a really good player. I'd be surprised if he's there next year, Gibbs White. I think he's a good player. So they do have some quality on the counter attack. But if we can get to a stage where 60 minutes, I fancy us against any team. If we can get to a stage where it's 60 minutes in the game and it's close, our quality should come through.
They should.
Saying that. Don't know who the bench is going to be, do we? So that might sound like a daft thing to say, actually.
No, but a little bit. That's all right. It's. I mean, we look at the Forest. Maybe going forward, they definitely have some quality players. But the bottom line is, injury-wise, at the back, we're actually pretty good. Apart from obviously the Allison thing, but we have the second best backup keeper on the planet in Kelleher. We got Virgil, we got Canate playing magnificent. We got Gomez, we got Robertson back. So we should be pretty solid.
Yeah.
Back, right?
I'll be back 4, won't it?
Now the back 4, most likely, I think it would be that. Maybe Bradley for Gomez, but that's probably the only one where you could go either way with that.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the team, who knows? That's all about who's fit, right? You would hope Endo would be fit for this. You would think McAllister will start. Yeah. So he'll be nailed on. The rest of the team, Diaz will probably start. And then it's anyone's guess.
Gakpo.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to say, isn't it? If Endo's fit and Endo can play with McAllister and maybe Harvey in the midfield 3, and then Diaz, Gakpo, and it's tough then, isn't it? What you do really, with Harvey comes a part of that front 3. It sounds even mad, but there might even be a case where Gomez does well. Probably can't.
Midfield?
I
No.
can't see it. No, I really can't. But do you know one thing I do worry about? We're just talking about the team there, and if you take out, if you've got like your Endos, your McAllisters, your Harveys, your Lewis Diaz's, your Bradleys, it's quite a small team. Do you
It
know?
is.
Do you know
Yeah.
from like set pieces and stuff? Like and they will be playing. There's no doubt about it. They'll be playing for set pieces, free kicks, corners, stuff like that, throw-ins. So I can definitely see I can see Gomez playing. He might play. He might even play Bradley, and Bradley might even play right wing, and it might be a case of there's no one else there. But
I mean, he might. Yeah, he might do that option. There is and going all the way back to Elliot. I mean, he's played 2 big games in a row. He's a lot of minutes. I know he's young, but he's had injury problems before. And this
as
is
well.
a pretty round as well. I mean, I'm surprised this game isn't Sunday. I know Man City are playing Sunday, and they played Wednesday as well. But Wednesday to a Saturday. Was it 4 p.m. UK time kickoff? I think it is.
No, it's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, mate.
Is it 3?
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay, so 3 o'clock kickoff. It's a pretty quick turnaround, but
not really. Is it Wednesday, Saturday?
When you take into account that I'm talking about Harvey Elliott specifically here. When you have the cup final, you have Wednesday and the Saturday. Hopefully, it'll be fine, right? But I'm just saying that's the only part, maybe.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Arrest him, but
I get what you're saying. It's back to my point before though. If we can get to a situation where we've got Nunes or Salah on the bench, he's just one of them.
Yeah.
Right? And we've got Szoboszlai, and then maybe Bradley is on the bench, or even Costas. Like I know I'm not Costas' biggest fan, but if you've got players that you can bring on that 60-minute mark that can really make a difference, even I wouldn't like. I mean, you know how much I love Bobby Clark. I think he's absolutely class. Now, would I really in an ideal world want him to start away at Forest? Probably not. But like, I wouldn't be a problem if I seen Bobby Clark starting at the weekend. Do you know what I mean? He's been so good. Like he really has.
It might be that it might be that fitness injuries dictate that we have to start either him or McConnell, and you might have an option of maybe that he scored a couple of goals the other night. He looked really good when he came off the bench in the final. That throw Dan's on, up front.
He's the greatest striker in the world since the Brazilian Ronaldo.
I know. Have you seen it everywhere? Good for him. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. And he's looked really at ease. And sometimes it's like that with youngsters. I think when you come in as a striker, it's a little bit easier to come in at a young than it is in midfield, right? It's a little bit easier to see that with him. So there's a lot of options from midfield going forward. I think, like we said, the back 5 obviously picks itself, but everything else, McAllister will probably be the only certain. But other than that, who knows? I guess we'll have to see. Must win game, of course. Man City, of course, they play the Manc derby on Sunday, which Man United have been looking a little bit better recently, but they're missing Højlund, which is
they're absolutely shite, mate. Don't do it to yourself. Right, well, before we wrap up, then quick one. We're going to win and score prediction.
Yes, we are going to win, and we are going to win by my favourite scoreline ever. We're going to win 4-1 away from home.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm going to go for a scabby 1-0 win. Dan's to score the winner on about the 89th minute, and it's to be the greatest week in any 18-year-old lad's life.
Yeah, it'll be a typical us, right? Well, first half we'll look really dodgy. We'll probably go 1-0 down. The second half we'll come out. We'll be brilliant, and we'll score 4 goals. Bang.
Yeah, we'll I mean, listen. Any way that Liverpool can get through this, and I mean, we need to just get into a situation where when we're playing that, when we've got that City game, we if we can be ahead before that City game, give us that momentum. Like at home, I don't mind us against anyone at home. I think the crowd will give us that extra edge. It's just these away games that are a little bit more difficult, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they yeah, of course they are, especially at this end of the season. Like we said, with Forest struggling, needing the points.
Yeah,
Not easy, and it shouldn't be easy, but we'll get through it.
we will. All right, mate. We'll wrap it up there.
Cool.
Next time we'll be down the pub. But yeah, Wilson and the lads will be, and they'll be having a chat after the match. So tune into that one. Like, subscribe, get us on all the socials: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and all that. Get us on all those places. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.
All right. Cheers.